Hi. Ooh. Jeez. I haven't filmed in a while. Can you tell? Hello, my name is Caitlin. I read a lot and welcome back to my channel. I literally haven't filmed a video in about 2 months. Regardless, today's video is a book haul because I have been working a lot more lately, and that means that more money is going into my bank account and therefore more money is going to my local bookstores. I'm looking at the several piles next to me and I'm just realizing that I may have a little bit of a problem, but genuinely it could be worse. I could be addicted and have spent my money on other things. So we're good. It's okay. Okay, firstly, so I have bought and completed the series of Heartstopper by Oseman. So I have Heartstopper Volume 2 and I have Heartstopper Volume 4. This was a new release from this year and I read it and it was really good. Nick and Charlie by Oseman is a short story. I have not read this one yet, but I bought it on impulse. It's June as I'm filming this, but I bought it because it's Pride Month and I wanted to be supporting some LGBTQ authors and stories, and Nick and Charlie is one of those, and so is Heartstopper Volume 4. So that's that. Going on with the LGBTQ theme, I didn't buy this in June, but it is LGBTQ. So They Both Die at the End by Silvera. I have read this, it's amazing. It really packs a punch and I really like it. Silvera is really good with like heart-wrenching stories. Let's keep going. So next we have, ooh, there's a bookmark in this one. Nope, it's a receipt. Next is A Gentleman's Guide to Getting Lucky, which is by Mackenzi Lee. I did start reading this. I borrowed this from the library initially and then I saw it at the shops and it was really cheap. So I bought it because it's just a novella. I never finished it, unfortunately. I think I got like halfway and then I got distracted by something. But it is a novella, accompanying book to the, what is it? It's A Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue, but that's not the name of the series. I think it's like the Montague siblings. I'm pretty sure that's what the series is called. But Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alire Saenz. Oh my goodness, one of my absolute favorite books ever in my life. I don't know, like this book literally changed me. I love this book so much. I really want to do another reread where I extrapolate quotes from it so I can put it on my quote wall. But oh my gosh, it's like a coming of age story. It's LGBTQ, it's heart-wrenching, it's beautiful, it's heartwarming. It explores like coming to terms with your sexuality and falling in love for the first time, and it's so beautiful. Oh my goodness, I can't recommend this book enough and I'm so happy it's part of my collection now. This is one of my more recent buys just because it just got recently released this June. It's called One Last Stop by McQuiston. I also recently finished this one, really enjoyed it. It's by the same author who wrote Red, White and Royal Blue, so I had very high expectations for it and it definitely hit the mark-ish. I didn't love it as much as Red, White and Royal Blue, but it was a really, really good women loving women book because I personally haven't read a lot that depict it well, but this one did and I really enjoyed it. The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertalli. This is also a book I have read. I'm just buying it to complete my bookshelf. This is probably my favorite book by Becky Albertalli, excluding What If It's Us, just because I really related to the main character. It's basically about this girl who's had like 27 crushes, all of them unrequited, and then it's basically a story about her having another crush, or maybe someone finally starts to like her back. It's really cute. It's like one of those comfort reads for me. Like if I'm ever like sad or not feeling myself, I'll come back to this type of book, just kind of skim through it and go to my favorite scenes and just like read all the happy gooey moments and it'll make me feel good. And then if I'm sad, I'll read those happy moments and feel even sadder because I've been single for 20 years. But it's fine because I have fictional characters to comfort me the way that this book does. So that's okay. Speaking of books that make me sad about being single, let's talk about Tweet Cute by Emma Lord. Oh my goodness, it was so cute. Another one of those, like, it's literally a like a Netflix rom-com but in book form. So it's like, it's set in New York. It's kind of not really enemies, it's more like frenemies to friends to unlikely friends to friends to lovers, and it's so sweet, and there's a lot of dessert references, which is very niche, but I really like that in books because I love baking. It's a very comforting book. Again, I'm going to say that a lot because a lot of these books I bought to complete my shelf, and I buy books to complete my shelf because those books were a big comfort to me, so that's why I want to reread them. This is finally a fantasy book because, surprise, fantasy is actually my favorite genre, but I haven't been reading it a lot because I just have been in a bit of a reading slump. This is Serpent and Dove by, how do I say it? Shelby Mahurin. This is basically about a witch and a witch hunter, and they were forced into an unlikely marriage, except the witch hunter doesn't know that she's a witch. And it's really, really interesting. That's all I want to say about this book, just because I think it's really good to go into these types of books slightly blind, just because it makes the element of surprise so much better and it impacts you so much harder. So highly recommend this one. It's also got a really cool cover. This is Bookish and the Beast by Ashley Poston. Ashley Poston is one of my favorite contemporary authors. Been doing a rewrite of like fairy tales, I guess you could say. She did Cinderella with Geekerella, and she did Princess and the Pauper with Princess and the Fangirl. And now we have Beauty and the Beast with Bookish and the Beast, obviously. And I didn't love this one as much as I loved Geekerella, but Geekerella is one of my favorites. However, if I'm gonna tier rank them, I would put this one at number 2 out of the 3. I don't know if she's gonna be making any more, but I really hope she does because I really like them and I love retellings of stories. Another kind of Beauty and the Beast retelling is A Curse, So Dark and Lonely. I have the third book. Where is it? Sorry, I bought this one. I forgot to take it out. My bad. And I also have the third one. This one came out this year, and then the next time I went in to the shops, I bought the first one because I didn't have it yet. I do have the second one. I haven't read it yet. I've read the first one. It was one of my favorite books of last year, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I fell so in love with the characters and plot and everything to do with it. And then I got the second one for my birthday, and then I bought the third one. But I have not read the second or third one yet because I'm really bad at it. Next, I have Instant Karma by Marissa Meyer, which is a contemporary. I don't know anything about this book. I bought it on a whim, I did not know she was releasing another book until I saw it in the shops, and I was like, hold up, here's my money. So I bought it, haven't touched it since. All I know is the main character gets the kind of ability to like give people instant karma. At least that's what I'm assuming. I saw Marissa Meyer and she's like one of my instant buy authors, so I just gave my money over. And that was pretty much it. Speaking of instant buy authors, it's upside down. Kate in Waiting by Becky Albertalli. I literally didn't even think. I just picked up the book and I bought it. I don't even know what it's about. I don't know. I think this year I've been having a little bit of issues with impulse buying. Can you tell? But it's okay. Speaking of impulse buying, which I think is going to be the theme of this book haul, we have Lore by Alexandra Bracken, except this one I do not regret whatsoever. Oh my goodness, I have been having a really, really bad reading slump lately. It has lasted me since last year. I've been like having issues with reading and sitting still and having a lot of focus, and I picked this up and I was like, it's Percy Jackson meets Hunger Games. If this can't get me back into reading, I don't know what can, because it's Percy Jackson first of all, and it's like Greek mythology, and it's Hunger Games. It's really hard to go wrong when you put those two with each other. So I read it and I literally I know it's a pretty good sized book, and knowing what I like my limits in terms of reading, even I was relatively surprised that I read this within like one day despite the reading slump. So there you go. It was so good. Like, it depicts the gods like of Olympus really differently to the way that I'm used to while reading like Percy Jackson, of course, because the Percy Jackson gods have such a specific voice and such a specific tone in the way that they hold themselves in the Percy Jackson books. Reading them here in lore was like whiplash because they're so different, and I keep thinking like, no, that's not how they would act. Why are they doing that? But like, I was able to still separate this story plotline to Percy Jackson, which I think is really important when you're gonna throw a comparison between Percy Jackson and another story. Read this book. It's really good. If you like Greek mythology, I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy this because it looks at the gods in a really different way, and the plot I think is just really interesting. Going on with the Greek mythology theme, we have Circe by Madeline Miller. I actually had no intention of buying this because I have yet to read Song of Achilles. But when I was buying A Curse So Dark and Lonely, they said that it was like buy one get one half, so naturally I picked it up. I'm probably gonna read Song of Achilles first before I read this one, but I haven't picked it up yet, so you know, we'll see. This is the Grishaverse, or the Grisha trilogy. I wasn't gonna buy this. I really genuinely wasn't, but I turned 20 in May, and one of my friends from work texted me and she was like, hey, what 2 books do you not own yet, or that you have had an eye on for a while? And this was at the time when I had just recently finished watching Shadow and Bone on Netflix, which is really good. Highly recommend it. I didn't read the books before watching it and I still enjoyed it, but I did read Six of Crows, and I think reading at least Six of Crows before you watch the show is helpful. But that's irrelevant. I had just finished watching the show, and so the books were on my mind a lot, and so I mentioned to her that, oh yeah, I haven't been able to buy this series yet, and it's a trilogy, so I told her the first 2 books, and then the next time I saw her at work, her and one of her friends bought me Shadow and Bone and Siege and Storm, which is the first 2 books in the Grisha trilogy, which is really sweet. I love them a lot. I don't know if they're watching this or if they will watch this, but thank you, love you. And then later that month, or like early this month, I bought Ruin and Rising because I wanted to complete the series. Now I will probably marathon this once I feel like it. I haven't started a new series in a really long time, and for some reason I'm kind of scared too. Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. This was one of the biggest releases of this year. I know a lot of people have been waiting to read this. I started reading this. I did not get very far. I mean, how far did I get? When I first bought it, I was reading it a lot, but I only got up to page 136. I was gonna make a reading vlog for this, but I lost all motivation to do anything productive with my life, so I haven't touched that video since. I filmed the intro, and then that was about it, and then yeah. Another book that was causing a lot of like, not drama, but like a lot of hype in the book community this year was A Court of Silver Flames. I nearly said A Court of Silver and Flames, and it's very annoying that it's not like that, but it's okay. By Sarah J. Maas. This is probably one of her better books of the ACOTAR series, I think, because it was written a lot better, I find, and I found the characters to be a lot more, I cared more about the characters a little bit more. I really like this. Nesta wasn't my favorite character, or not even in my top 5, and it's a really small cast of characters in ACOTAR. She was not in my top 5, but I really like how Sarah J. Maas approached her character in this, and then what she did with her character, and then with the plot and everything. I think it was really well done. I have a review on Goodreads and on my Instagram if you want to check it out. Continuing on, The Mermaid's Voice returns, in this one is a continuation of the series Women Are Some Kind of Magic by Amanda Lovelace. Absolutely love the poetry collection, the first two, but I haven't read this one yet. But I love poetry and I know I'll love it because I love Amanda Lovelace, so there's that. Another poetry collection, Home Buddy by Rupi Kaur. Haven't read this one yet, but I did enjoy her first two collections, so hoping to enjoy that one as well. Last poetry collection is a really special mention. I want to talk about this one a little bit. This is Pearls in the Sun by Balad Al-Karki, and Balad is actually one of my best friends. I went to high school with her, and she's one of my fellow writer friends, I guess, and we used to always talk about in high school how, oh, I can't wait to write a book. And I have been writing like my book since I was 14, and I don't know how long she's been writing this, but when she started posting about it and started saying, oh yeah, my book is going to be released, I was so beyond excited for her. And the moment that she sent her link saying, oh, you can buy it, I bought that thing instantaneously, and I'm just so beyond proud of her for creating this beauty. I've been reading it very, very slowly because I want to cherish it a little bit. And what I've been doing, if you can, obviously you can see these little tabs, is I've been tabbing my favorite ones, obviously, and then inside I have these yellow ones as well, where I basically answer her poem with a poem of mine, or if it's a question, then I answer it basically. It's very special to me that one of my closest friends was able to do this, and there's even a poem in here about me, and it brings me to tears every time I think about it, so I'm not gonna think about it. But Bella, I'm gonna make sure that you watch this part of the video at least, just to say I'm so proud of you for creating this amazing thing, and I'm gonna let everyone know where to buy it from as well, because this is amazing and I really want to keep sharing this with the entire world. I love my friends. Okay, continuing on, this is You Want to Get Through This Night by Daniel Howell, and if you recognize the name, it is because Daniel Howell, as in Dan and Phil. And if you kind of know me in real life, or even just a little bit on the internet, you'll know that I had a very strong Dan and Phil phase. I went to their show here in Australia, the Interactive Introverts. It was really fun. I loved it. I still watch them till this day, and they bring me a great comfort that just makes me feel very safe. And I've always felt safe in the community that they created on the internet. And Daniel Howell creating a book about mental health with an actual psychologist to make sure that what he was saying is correct and factually means a lot to me, because I have my issues with mental health and Daniel Howell has his issues with mental health, and seeing someone that I look up to go through something that was so similar to me and still being able to triumph out of it is really special and really significant to me. So that's also why I really wanted to get my hands on this. I started reading it, and it does say in the book that it's not the type of book that you read in one go. You kind of read what you need as you go. It's hard to explain, but there are different sections to it. I will just read it out. So it goes, this night, tomorrow, and the days after that, and those are the three sections, and then you kind of read them. You can kind of, it is a self-help book in that sense where it's not a story. You kind of just read what is most relevant and most important to you when you need it. The next book is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. V.E. Schwab is one of the authors that I really, really love, but I've literally only read like 2 of her books. And that is over here, if you can see them. This Savage Song and Our Dark Duet. Those books absolutely changed my life. So I don't know why I haven't read her other books, but I was reading this in the store and I read the first page, and the first page captured me so, it grabbed me in a chokehold and never let me go, because the next time I went into the store, I bought it. And the internet has been going absolutely crazy about this book, so I was like, you know what, fine, we'll give in to the hype. And it's a reasonably sized book, so it'll definitely keep me entertained for quite a bit. The next book is The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater. I have been waiting to buy this book for so long, but for the longest time it was out of print in hardcover, and the rest of the series is in hardcover, and I literally cried when I saw that it was out of print for a little bit, because I was like, I'm never gonna be able to finish my series or complete it or whatever. And it really annoys me when one of the books is not the same as the others, and I really wanted it in hardcover because they're just so beautiful in hardcover. And The Raven King is my second favorite in the series. It's the last book in the series. I can't really say much about the story except that it's about a psychic, and it has a lot of found family aspects, and there's like, I would say magic realism, but I don't think it's magic realism. It has fantastical elements to it. Finally, the last book that I have to talk about today is Better Together by Christine Riccio. If you recognize her name, you may know her as Poland Bananas Books here on YouTube. She's one of my favorite booktubers ever. I absolutely love her so much, and her first book, her debut novel, Again But Better, was one of my favorite books of the year that I read it. So I'm really excited to see what Better Together brings. I don't know much about it, but I just know that it was inspired a little bit by The Parent Trap, and it's about sisters. I haven't seen The Parent Trap. I don't know if that says a lot about me. I'm really excited because I love Christine a lot, and like, she's such a great personality to watch, and her personality really translates in her writing, and I really look up to her in that sense. So I'm really excited to read this. So there we go. That is all the books I have to talk about today. I really speed ran through all of those books. I've only been talking for 30 minutes. I'm not even gonna try and hold it up. Should I? Maybe. For like a thumbnail? Oh. Okay, I'm wearing pajama bottoms, so if you see that, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for watching. I have not filmed, as I said, in a very long time, so if you want to maybe recommend something for me to film. Regardless, hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was really nice filming it again, just talking to myself in my room. Love that for me. If you guys like this video, give it a like, comment down if you've read any of these books, or comment down the last book you read, or anything really, just comment. Help the algorithm of YouTube so people watch my videos. Subscribe if you want to see more of my face and more of my content, and click the notification if you would like. If you want to find me anywhere on Instagram or Goodreads or whatever, I'll leave it down linked below. I hope you guys are having a good day. Whatever time you guys are watching this, have a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, a good night, and goodbye.